Liverpool defence.
Right, a super Thursday afternoon from the studios of Honor 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from Bodija here in the beautiful city of Ibadan. Welcome to the Thursday edition of Sport Today, where we give you the latest and the biggest coming from the world of sport. Trust me, on the show this afternoon, we'll look into all the games that went down yesterday, both from the European scene, the local scene, and of course, we'll tell you what happened at the Merseyside derby yesterday between Everton and Liverpool, which ended in the 2-2 draw at the end of regular time. We also look into the Champions League games that went down yesterday. 4 games went down. I must confirm to you, 8 teams was in action. We look into all those games this afternoon. Don't forget that 3 games also went down in the Nigerian Premier Football League yesterday. Right there in Ilorin, we saw Kwara United up against Shooting Stars of Ibadan. Yes, the Oluyole Warriors lost by 2 goals to nothing. We'll look into the Nigerian Football League and of course dive into the games that will be going down later this evening, both from the Conference League and the Europa League. These are many more stories that will be coming your way this lovely Super Thursday afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Ayomikun Adeniyi. Of course, you can simply call me Purity. I'm not alone in the studio. I got my 2 wise men, and together we'll be on the ride. Captain's in the building this afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Captain.
Well, a beautiful afternoon to you, Ayomikun. It's another fantastic time to talk sports on Honor 103.5 FM. This is the station where we bring you on by our sports analysis and, of course, undiluted reportage. Thank you for joining us. Samson Balogun is my name. They call me the official sports captain on radio.
All right, we have Ebun in the building this afternoon also. Good afternoon to you, Ebun.
Thank you, Pretty, once again for having me on the show. I'm excited to talk about everything that went down yesterday, today again.
All right, let's dive into action this afternoon, shall we? We'll start from the UEFA Champions League. The 4 games that we saw yesterday. What a game that went down at the Champions League yesterday. We saw one of the biggest games that went down yesterday was between Celtic and Bayern Munich, which Bayern Munich won the game away from home by 2 goals to nothing. Club Brugge also surprised Atalanta by 2 goals to 1. Feyenoord defeated AC Milan by a lone goal, and Benfica secured victory away from home against Monaco by 1 goal to nothing. So, Captain, let's dive into all this 4 games that went down yesterday. Surprisingly, we saw Club Brugge against Atalanta, which ended in a victory for Club Brugge. Everyone said yesterday that Atalanta is going to win that game free and fair, but then we saw the game.
Well, I think to most analysts and punters, yesterday's results were, some of them were quite shocking, especially for Atalanta losing away from home. Best result in that game could have actually been a draw, but then, as shocking as it was, it ended in a victory for Club Brugge. And of course, I think all is not lost for Atalanta, for the fact that they were able to get a goal away from home, though it doesn't count like that as it used to. But at least they reduced the deficit, meaning that if they are able to grind out a victory, no matter how hard it is, on the home turf, they will be even, and then we might see if it's going to be a penalty, go into extra time, and then a penalty. I think Atalanta still have all to play for in that game, and then the fact that the second leg will be, on their home turf, their fans will be there to support them. I think that will be a plus for them. And then by then, Ademola Lookman will be back, and then they have one of their finest firepowers, in the starting level.
All right. Also, in Scotland yesterday, we saw Scotland Giants are playing against Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich won that game by 2 goals to nothing. Harry Kane also getting a goal for Munich yesterday. Ebon, let's talk about that game, Celtic against Bayern Munich. Yesterday, when we spoke about this game, we were very clear that Bayern Munich would get victory yesterday.
Yeah, we were very clear. We spoke about Bayern winning the match, but we also suggested that they would do so by a very wide margin. But surprisingly, Celtic put up a lot of fights yesterday too, and even though they lost the game, they were able to score the last goal of the game, and also they showed a lot of fighting spirit to just tell Bayern that you can't come to our house and just trash us like 4-0 or 5-0. So it was very impressive showing from Celtic yesterday. They were able to get the goal and reduce the margin. I'm not going to say they will go to Germany and go and put up a win or qualify for the next round, but their spirit yesterday and the performance they put in was very impressive. It's something they can be proud of.
All right, Captain, let's talk about the AC Milan game. I think it was very surprising with the quality AC Milan had in that game, alongside some quality players in that team. They went to Feyenoord yesterday, and surprisingly, they lost by a long goal.
Well, you cannot rule that out. They traveled, and that was away from home. If you look at what Feyenoord has been doing so far this season, you wouldn't even expect AC Milan to get all 3 points away from home. But for me, I think they fought tooth and nail, just that they were unable to convert their chances. They had the players like Rafael Leao in the team, who is naturally a goal scorer. They got Joao Felix from Chelsea, who was a starter in the game yesterday.
Tammy Abraham
is still there. But then it's just the only concern is that away from home they were unable to register, a goal. That might be a very difficult one, playing at home, and it's more or less like they have all to play for and also all to lose. If they play at home and they can get the goals, just like it happened away from. But then the difference is that they will have all the fans there, playing on their own turf, familiar. They are familiar with the turf, familiar with the city, familiar with everything. The opponents will be more or less like strangers in town. So that should be an advantage for them. But if they fail to convert their chances, just like they did yesterday, that might be their own undoing in the game.
All right. Also, we saw the last game yesterday, Benfica against Monaco, which Benfica won that game away from home. So let's leave the Champions League now because of our time and go straight to the Premier League. We saw a very crucial match yesterday between Everton and Liverpool, which some of us now, I think they were rejoicing after 90 minutes because Everton held Liverpool to a draw.
Well, a lot of things happened yesterday. We saw, situations like that where there were issues, and of course, it ended in a draw. Fine, Everton were able to do that. Don't forget they have had their fair share of bad results this season. That draw for them was like a victory against Liverpool.
Definitely.
Because for a long time they have been the whipping boys in the Merseyside derby. So I feel like yes, a very good result for Everton, but then not that good one for Liverpool. Though they were still able to salvage a point in that game. But then on the bright side for Liverpool, at least that wasn't a loss. They were able to bag 1 point, and then away from there they should be able to get all the 3 points in the next game, and that's how you react as a big team anytime, any day. But then the great spot in the game was when Curtis Jones had some issues with the Kure.
I mean, we always expect that.
The Merseyside derby. Talking about when he scored and jubilated in front of the Liverpool fans. I think that was the highlight of the game. It took the referee, the assistant referee, took the whole 11 players on both ends to sort all that out. But then, be that as it may, I think Everton are on to something since the return of the person who knows exactly what it means to be a toughest coach. And I feel like at this point, this might be the time when they start climbing the ladder, just like they used to. Everton has always been the team that finishes nothing less than mid-table. But then at the point they got stuck somehow, and then they became the whipping boys in the EPL. They almost got relegated at the point. But now I feel like they are getting their gears together now. They should be able to do something meaningful with the rest of the season.
All right, Ebon, we have 7 points between Liverpool and Arsenal. We still have a lot to go this season after playing 24 games. And of course, yesterday we spoke about Liverpool winning that game, which will increase their chances of winning the Premier League. But then it ended 2-2. And for Arsenal, I think there's still a lot of hope for a team like Arsenal. Probably Nottingham Forest also can be start dreaming.
Yes, we predicted a win for Liverpool yesterday, and they almost got it when Salah scored towards the end of the match. but in dramatic fashion, the 90th plus 6 minutes, Tarkowski was able to, score that wonder goal. I think Liverpool will be very disappointed that they could not close out that match with a win. This is a result that they would have wanted to get going into their next, fixtures. They have Ipswich, they have Aston Villa in the next game week. You might say Ipswich would be a write-off for them, but the Villa game is going to be tough. So looking at the table, just like you said, Nottingham Forest can definitely start dreaming. Arsenal are facing a lot of injuries at the moment. Right now, the attack is down to only 3 men, and then Saka is still not back yet. Nottingham Forest are just 3 points behind us now. So you know that they are dreaming of, okay, if Arsenal slip up 2 matches, 3 matches, then we can climb, and then maybe we'll be the ones to push Liverpool all the way. So I think it's good for Forest to dream. You have Chelsea in the background too. Even though their form has dropped massively in recent weeks, they are just 4 points behind Forest, 7 behind us now. You know that they are also dreaming of solidifying their top 4 spots. And looking at the rest of the table too quickly, Man City, Newcastle, Bournemouth, the battle for that top 4, top 5 is heating up nicely. City have, slowly, somehow started to regain their form too. And you know that at the back of Pep Guardiola's mind is thinking, okay, even if we don't win any trophy this season, at least let's secure Champions League football, and let's see next season, the summer window, how we can be better. So Man City are also dreaming of pushing for that top 4 spot, and then Newcastle to level 1 point with Man City. So it's going to be very interesting to observe the next 3 to 4 game weeks to see how the table shapes up. But I expect Liverpool to keep going. I expect them to keep their lead at least by 4 or 5 points.
All right, let's wait and see what will happen at the end of the season. But then, guys, you are still on to sport today on 103.5 FM. Right about now, we'll be going on a short commercial break. And when we return, we talk about the Nigerian Premier Football League. The 3 games that went down yesterday. Kwara United won their game by 2 goals to nothing against Shooting Stars of Ibadan. And in Kano, we saw Kano Pillars also securing victory against Ekarami Warriors of Meduguri. Benin Insurance also defeated Enyimba. These are still many more stories that will be coming your way shortly after this commercial break. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
On 103.5 FM.
Do you need a reliable and super fast unlimited internet for your business and home use? If yes, iWorld Networks is your solution with our uptime affordable internet via fixed broadband. No data caps and throttling. You can enjoy your distance learning, business meetings, and family time with our reliable internet. With 24/7 proactive customer support and 99.8% uptime. We also provide connectivity for offices, schools, financial services, hotels, government, etc. Chat with us on www.iwn.ng. iWorld Networks, we've got you covered. Sign up and get connected today.
This is your radio.
Unless we make broadcasting accountable, it is going to be very hard to change anything else for the better in our society. That is why all established and aspiring broadcasters are enjoined to join Society of Nigerian Broadcasters, SMB, the only legally recognized professional body for broadcasters in Nigeria. Registered since 1994. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni o, ìjọba ti wá rọ̀ Society of Nigerian Broadcasters, SMB lágbára láti issue operational license fún gbogbo ẹnikẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà. Pẹ̀lú ìtọ̀sẹ̀ tó tọ́, SMB has successfully gone through all the different stages of becoming law. Àjẹpẹ́ fún ẹnikẹ́ni láti rẹ́sẹ̀ walẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí agbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà. Ó ní láti jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ SMB. Join now and be glad you did. Fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ láti dọmọ ẹgbẹ́ SMB, ẹ pè alábòjútó National Coordinator Dr. Yemisi Bangbose lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ 0803-331-5256 or better still visit www.smb.com.ng. Be fulfilled as a broadcaster. Join SMB.
On 103.5 FM.
right, welcome back from that short commercial break. In case you're just joining, this is Sport Today on Honor 103.5 FM, 67 the latest and the biggest coming from the world of sports. Quickly now, let's take stories from the Nigerian Premier Football League. Yesterday, Kwara United ended 8 games unbeaten runs of Shooting Stars of Ibadan. In the schedule 2024-2025 MPFL, a counter a goal in each half by Kabiru Mohammed and Abdullahi gave Kwara United the maximum 3 points yesterday. Before the game, we were building up to a big encounter between the Warriors, both the Afoja Warriors and the Oluyole Warriors, hoping that Shooting Stars would go to Ilorin and come back with a point. But then it went in another way. Shooting Stars lost by 2-0.
Well, it's easier said than done. Most of the times, as pundits, you get to predict some games, but then not all the times that you get to see results pan out exactly the way you think it would. Take, for example, the game between Oluyole Warriors and the Afonja Warriors yesterday. I have always known that's going to be a Southwest derby, and it has always been hot between these two sides in recent times. So you don't expect anything less than a cracker between these two teams. Just that I felt the coach, Benga Ogumbote, tinkered too much with the starting 11. Yesterday, there were about 5 central defenders in the team. I think Bolagade was in the starting 11. Desmond was there. Bamidele Ayodeji was. So they had he tinkered too much with the 11, and that actually altered the flow of football we have known there for so far this season. So it's I think the coach should try as much as possible to stop tinkering with the team, changing starters. One of the strongest suits of a coach is identifying his starting 11. Yeah. Once you do that, you know exactly who comes in and makes a difference when you are in a tight corner, and then who takes over from who in the team and in what manner you do that. So I think that was the thing that was lost in that game yesterday. Once they conceded, the fact that he tinkered with the team too much, it was difficult for him to turn the game around by substituting the players tactically. So it became a problem. While he was at that, trying to make amends, another goal came in and that was it. So some of the times when you say these things, they think you know too much. In fact, they will tell you, if it is easy, come and do it. But then it's a lot easier for you to spot these things from outside the pitch than people who are by the sidelines. So I feel like these things also happen when they play at home. Sometimes you wonder why some players are on the bench and there is no adequate explanation. In the EPL, when a certain player will not make the starting 11, even before the game, you already know who's not making the starting 11 and why. But in the NPFL, you just realize the coach makes his starting 11, announces them. A certain player is not in the starting 11, not even on the bench. I don't get to know why. In fact, at the point when players get injured, you don't know exactly how long it will take these players to come back. Some of them, you don't even see them again for a long time, and then boom, they appear. And then you begin to answer, where
is this guy? Where is this guy coming from again?
For example, Lawal Abdullahi has been missing for God knows how long. I've not seen, even on their page, on their official Facebook page, I've not seen exactly how they explain his injury, when he will be back, and then what exactly they are doing to make sure he's fit. Is he having a surgery? Is he seeing the physio? These things should be explained to fans, because some of the times people will just blame the coach for things he could have actually, explained to the people. But then it happens in the MPFL. In fact, it gets so tough that sometimes when you ask them what they did to claim victory in certain games, they will tell you, we thank God. God always does it. I don't think they understand the technical input they are bringing into the game. But then we feel like from here on, they are going to make some changes to what they do.
All right, Captain, let's take a look at the MPFL table right about now. After playing 23 games, we have Remo Stars with 48 points. And we have Shooting Stars right behind them with 40 points. 8
points difference
between the first and second. We were hoping that probably if Shooting Stars could salvage the point right there in London, probably they might close the gap between Remo Stars and other team. Now we have Remo Stars with 48 points, and right behind Shooting Stars we have Rivers United with 38 points. Their next game, talking about Shooting Stars, they'll be playing away from home. So what are their chances of maintaining the first 2-3?
Well, I think that's a big question. In the NPFL, if you are going to win the league, you make sure you don't always slip up away from home. And one thing we have known Shooting Stars for so far this season, the Ademasimba Stadium has been a fortress, but they have been a shadow of themselves while traveling. And aside from the fact that you are playing in another stadium where you are not used to, you only go there once in a while, the fact that the coach makes some changes that you begin to question sometimes is a major problem. There's no crime, especially for the issue of traveling stress, fatigue. There's no rule that says you cannot rest some players. But the fact that most of the times you see majorly new faces in the team, players that have not even played the last 3-4 games, the coach should consider match rustiness. So for me, I think I don't see them, if they continue with this current away form, I don't see them maintaining the top 3 in the next 5 games.
All right. It's going to be a very long journey for Shooting Stars. But then, let's take the last story for today. NBA, that's our next boss stop. We saw Lakers, they were in action this morning again with Jazz. Yes, they lost the game 131 to 119. We have a whole lot of games that went down just this morning. Clippers also secured victory. And don't forget that Golden State Warriors lost this morning. We're following these games. Yesterday also we talked about the likes of Kevin Durant doing some magic in his last game. But talking about the current game that we saw this morning, a lot of shockers also happened.
Yeah, I think the most disappointed team would be definitely the Los Angeles Lakers losing to the Utah Jazz, because they were overwhelming favorites to win that game. But Utah Jazz were able to, have a dominant first half, dominant third quarter too, and they were able to, beat Lakers. I think the biggest problem with Lakers right now, as expected, is that their defense is just not what it should be. They lost Anthony Davis when they traded for Luka Doncic, and they were not able to, bring in a suitable replacement. The center they wanted to get, Mark Williams from Charlotte Hornets, failed his medical. So right now, the Lakers are more or less still tinkering around with their defense. Who do we put in that center position? How do we defend as a team? So right now, they are struggling with their defense. They will score points, definitely, with the likes of LeBron James and Doncic and Reeves. But the defense in NBA is very important.
Very, very important,
And then right now, their defense is not just what it should be and what it could be. And then another result from the game would be Warriors losing to Mavericks. Warriors were also favorites for that game, but Kyrie was able to put in one of his best games of the season, and Golden State Warriors continue again to struggle with their form. So I think they'll be very disappointed with that results. Looking at the standings, it's looking very unlikely for them to make the playoffs directly. They might have to go for the play-in. But there's still a lot of games to be played. I mean, that's the NBA for you. There's still so many more games to be played all the way to March. So anything can happen.
Right. Definitely anything can happen. Yesterday, Remo Star ladies, they were at home against Abias Angels, and they won the game by 2-0. Quickly, Captain, I think they are currently doing well, both the main team and the female team.
Yeah, I think we spoke about templates the other time. We had this discussion. I think these two teams, they have a template they have religiously followed, and it has always paid off. Get the best players, get the best coach, put in the best facilities, and then give the players the best kind of moral support they can get anywhere. And then you see them bringing in the results. That's exactly what you are getting with Remo Stars. Don't forget, this team was formed how long ago?
3 years ago.
Almost just about 2 years. And then it wasn't even intentional. It was when they wanted to play the Continental, and then you get to hear things like you must have a female team. That was when they decided, okay, let's have one. And then ever since, it has always been, something really big for Remo Stars. And I feel if they continue this way, they might just take over from, the biggest names in the...
like Edo Queens.
Like Edo Queens.
All right, Captain, we need to pack our bags.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Let's meet up tomorrow again and talk sport on 103.5 FM. Samson Balogun is my name. They call me the official sports captain on radio.
Ebon.
Thank you so much for having me today. AY. I'm always happy to come here and then talk sports. And then we'll be looking forward to. There's not too many matches today, but the weekend is upon us again. So we'll be looking forward to that. So thank you for having me today on Honor 103.5 FM.
All right, so until I come your way again later tomorrow, my name is Ayomikun